This is trail day 64. It is Tuesday, August the 18th. And I'm leaving the Base Camp Outfitters. Got some new tips on the old trekking poles. I'm heading back to the trail. It's a little late in the day. It's 12:15. But had to go to the post office this morning and come down to the outfitter. But we're just going like 7 miles to the first shelter, so we'll be back on the trail here shortly and head north. So this Camp Pond, a little creek goes to it. Have a little waterfall over here. A nice little view of Camp Pond right off the trail. It did rain last night. It wasn't a long storm, but it looked like it was going to rain again this morning. Pretty dark clouds over the mountain, but it didn't rain. Oop. For mud. It didn't rain here in Killington. I don't know how the weather was up the trail, but either way, it was nice to be dry in a hotel with a shower. So we're at the trail junction for Thundering Falls, and I can see it, so I'm going to check it out. Kind of a cool waterfall. Definitely worth a little side trip. Leaving the falls, got a nice little boardwalk. It's made out of that plastic wood. This is going to be here a while. Oh, pretty much ever since we got off the boardwalk and crossed the road, we've been going uphill. But the trail's been very nice. A couple of rocky spots here or there, but nothing bad. And you can see through the trees. The sky's getting dark. I heard some thunder a while ago. So we got some rain chasing us up the mountain, possibly. Hopefully it won't mess up coming up on a power line here shortly. Supposed to have a good view, so hopefully we can get there before the rain cloud. Well, we did not outrun the rain, so I stopped and threw the pack cover on and deployed the umbrella, and now we just trek on. Can't always avoid the rain. But I tell you, the trekking umbrella is awesome. Because it's not quite cold enough for rain gear. But a rain like this, without heavy winds, and I'm going to stay completely dry from the knees up. And I'm not going to overheat. And then with the rain cover, typically you get a bunch of rain down your back, so then your pack still gets wet. But the umbrella is over my pack, so the only thing that gets wet is a little bit down around the hip belt. And my sleeping bag's in the bottom, but it's in that event dry sack, so it's always stayed dry. We should be getting close to the top of this mountain, but I don't think we're going to have a good view from the power line, unfortunately. But it may blow over quick. So we do get a view here to power line. That's of the Pico Peaks. I'm assuming those cleared out ski slopes. So it stopped raining. And I still got the umbrella out, just because the wind's blowing, knocking water off the trees. It might start raining again, who knows. I got 2.5 miles left to get to the shelter. It's almost 4. So I might consider going further than the shelter. I'll have to look. I finally broke down and got gut hooks, just since it seemed like some people was getting useful information about places to stay or shuttles, and that the AWOL and all, most of those places listed in there are closed, so that, and supposedly you can check in with people when you don't have cell service. And since I'm getting into New Hampshire and Maine, I've not had cell service in several places in Vermont. So if I can let the wife at home know that I'm safe and in camp, I guess it's worth it. I'll just have to test it out sometime when I don't have service to make sure it goes through. But when I get to the shelter, what I was saying is I'll check and see, maybe there's a camp spot a mile or two between it and the next one. I may go there. That way I get in a few more miles for the day. So I'm about a mile from the Stony Brook shelter, and it's 4:30, and I think I'm done with all the uphill for today. That kind of took me by surprise. There's some pretty good uphill. But I made it the whole way without stopping for a break. I stopped, take my pack off, put the rain cover on, but no breaks. So I have come to the conclusion that it doesn't matter how light your pack is, what shape you're in, how many miles you've done. While you can make it up the hill, like no matter how steep they are, you can start at the bottom and make it to the top, and you might make it faster, but it still doesn't get easier. Yeah, you just get more efficient at getting to the top. But some people like to climb. And there was a guy yesterday saying he'd prefer climbing over going downhill. I'd go downhill all day. I don't mind the downhill at all. I guess most of the mud is in southern Vermont. There's been a muddy spot here or there in the last few days, but not very much. It's amazing how big of a difference a new set of trekking pole tips make. They're just a lot more grippy on the rocks and stuff like that. If these had over 618 miles on them, and the Barnum Trail last year, part of it, and countless day hikes. So I'll probably have to get one more set before this journey is done. Big piece of, looks like marble or something. And the thunder rolls. Well, maybe we'll get to the shelter before Rainstorm 2 shows up. My feet didn't even really get wet. Earlier, outside of my socks got a little damp. And they're already about dry. So, yeah, the umbrella makes a big difference. None of my clothes got wet. My right arm a little. If I hadn't have had the umbrella, it rained enough, all my clothes would have been soaked. So, let me know in the comments if there's anybody that watches this that uses an umbrella or that don't use an umbrella, what you think about it, or why you wouldn't use one. Well, we made it to the shelter. The next shelter is 10 miles. It's 5 o'clock. I know I can't do 10 miles before dark. So this may be where we're going to be for the night. The Stony Brook shelter. I'm going to go check it out and then evaluate it from there. So it's got a privy. If I stay, there's a spot right over there. I can put my hammock. Got a nice fire pit. Not much to the shelter. Nice little spot on the back here. And I think there's more tent places back there I'll go check out. Not too bad.